Ever notice that one person who just watches the sunset while everyone else is fumbling for their phones? They're the ones who casually mention, "Oh, I'm not on social media." And suddenly, the whole room stares at them like they just admitted to living in some remote mountain shack. But here is the thing. That person isn't some hater or a lonely hermit. They might be guarding something precious that most of us have already lost without even realizing it. If you are the type who has zero desire to doom scroll through Instagram at 2 in the morning, who feels no urge to post their latte or vent to strangers, you will finally see why your brain is wired differently than the 5 billion people glued to their screens. This is the truth nobody is telling you. In 2026, staying off social media has become a total act of rebellion. Brain science is starting to reveal something wild about the people who make that choice. Their minds might be built to resist the very traps the rest of us just walked right into. Let's be real. Why does everyone else care so much about those little red dots? These apps hijack the most ancient parts of your mind, that deep-seated craving for approval. Every time you get a like or a share, your brain dumps a hit of dopamine. It is the same rush you get from chocolate, physical intimacy, or winning big at a game. Engineers literally built these platforms using dark psychology to make them as hard to quit as humanly possible. But this is where the non-users start to look really interesting. They aren't robots. They still feel that dopamine rush. They just find their joy in much better places. Studies show their reward centers don't care about outside applause. They're fueled by their own internal peace. Basically, they don't need 200 strangers to like a beach photo to know they had a great time. The moment itself is enough. It is the difference between doing things for yourself versus doing them for an audience. Most people are stuck chasing digital approval just to feel like their lives actually matter. But the ones who opt out have discovered a massive secret. They give themselves their own green light. And once you stop needing them to clap for you, everything changes. Now, there is a heavy price to these apps that most of us are too scared to face. It isn't just about staying in touch. It is about constantly sizing yourself up. Every scroll forces your brain to measure your messy reality against someone else's highlight reel. And you are destined to lose because you're measuring your raw, unfiltered life against their fake, perfectly staged performance. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that cutting back to 30 minutes a day makes people way less lonely. But for those who quit entirely, their anxiety drops and happiness spikes because they simply stopped playing a rigged game. They just walked away from the table. Just think about what is happening to your focus when you're always plugged into the feed. You're teaching your mind to scream for a new hit of something shiny every few seconds. Swipe, swipe, quick hit, swipe, swipe. There is another one. People who aren't on these apps actually have a real attention span. They can actually sit with a thought for more than 15 seconds or finish a chapter without itching to check their screen. We have actual brain scans that prove this isn't just a hunch. Constant users show much less activity in their prefrontal cortex, that vital area that handles your focus, your choices, and your self-control. Those who stay offline are basically working out their focus muscles every single day. But we have to be real about one thing. Some people dodge the internet for the wrong reasons, not because they are free, but because they're just hiding from the world. Maybe it's a deep-seated fear of being judged, or simply being seen. That is fear-driven isolation, not a choice of peace. So, ask yourself this one thing. Are you opting out because it truly adds value to your life? Or are you just terrified of what happens when the spotlight hits you? See, one path is freedom. The other is just a shield disguised as a choice. But for those who truly choose to disconnect, there is a much deeper shift happening. They have finally realized that these platforms aren't actually social at all. It is a stage. Every single post is just a quiet plea for validation. Every story is just a calculated play in a hidden game for social status. And the ones who leave, they have looked at the whole theater and said, this isn't real life. Real human connection happens in the physical world, not behind cold glass. It is in that quiet breath before an answer. It is in the loud, messy laugh you would never post. It is in those tiny, mundane moments that are too messy for photos but feel perfect. People off the grid get that the most beautiful parts of life aren't meant for sharing. They are meant to be felt. Now, researchers found something that might actually shock you. People who quit the feed actually have much stronger bonds in real life. They don't have more friends, they have real ones. Instead of spreading their social energy across 500 acquaintances they haven't seen in years, they're investing it into the people who are actually in their lives. It's about deep roots, not a wide reach. And then there is the one thing we can't get back: time. The typical person wastes over 2.5 hours every day scrolling away. That adds up to 912 hours every year. That is 38 full days spent watching other people live while your own life just sits there. Those who log off get those 38 days back. What do you think they do? They create, they learn, and they actually exist without needing a crowd to watch. Psychology calls this state continuous partial attention. It is the feeling of never being fully there. One eye on the room, one eye on the screen, just waiting for a ping. You're never present. The people who step away have finally broken out of that loop. When they are sitting across from you, they are actually there. They aren't performing for an invisible audience while they are trying to talk to you. Yet, we treat them like they are crazy. No Instagram? How do you even know your friends still exist? We act like we didn't survive for thousands of years without a status update. Honestly, those who walk away know a secret that the rest of us are finding out. You don't need to post your life to prove that it actually matters. You don't need 1,000 likes to make a memory feel special. And for the creators out there, this part is really wild. Writers and artists who cut the cord report a massive shift in their craft. Their work finally improves significantly. Rather than chasing likes, they start creating things that actually matter to them. It stops being about the numbers and starts being about the soul. Social media turned us all into brands without even asking for our permission. You aren't just living anymore. You're editing and marketing your life to an audience of strangers who don't care. Stepping off the grid means leaving that entire rigged system behind. They aren't brands to be managed. They're just humans, enjoying a freedom we've basically forgotten. We need to talk about FOMO, that nagging fear of being left out. It is the exact reason most of us feel trapped, even when we hate it. But here's the secret those who quit have finally realized. Nearly everything you were scared of missing, it is just empty digital static. The moments that actually count, real friends, true life, they find you without the scrolling. Here is the dark reality about these platforms that nobody wants to admit. It is engineered to make you feel less than, just to bait you for likes. Every single feed is tuned to trigger your worst emotions, like jealousy, anger, or self-doubt, because those feelings keep you hooked. Those who opt out have escaped a machine designed to tell them they are never enough. So, what actually happens when that voice finally stops whispering that you are failing? You start realizing you are fine without the perfect pose, the clever text, or the fake life. You are free to exist. It is radical. Then there is the weird way we actually remember our own lives. Research proves that if you are always filming every moment for the feed, your brain forgets the real memory because you were too busy framing the shot and picking filters. Your brain is performing for others, not living for you. Those who stay offline are creating deep memories, not just digital assets. Look, this isn't some angry rant against technology. Far from it. Apps are just tools. But ask yourself, are you using the tool, or is it using you? Those who quit have finally looked that question in the eye, and their answer was a no. But listen, this isn't about judging anyone. If these apps truly make your life better, then that is fantastic. But get real with yourself. Are you the master or the puppet? Are you really choosing to be there? Or are you just refreshing because a billion-dollar algorithm hijacked your dopamine for profit? Staying offline doesn't make anyone superior. It just means they picked a different path. They decided their focus and peace are worth way more than some digital likes. In a culture that is always trying to sell you easy comfort, in exchange for your freedom, that is worth thinking about. If you're a non-user and people demand an explanation, here is what you say. Tell them you prefer living your life over just proving that you lived it. Or just give them a smile and say, I gave it a shot. No thanks. Because you truly do not owe anyone a reason for living life your own way. Those who stay off the apps aren't missing out. They are just actually living. And maybe they have found something beautiful that the rest of us are too busy to see. Your focus is literally the most precious thing you possess. Every second you spend mindlessly scrolling is time handed over to a stranger's wallet. The ones who stay offline have already realized this truth. They have reclaimed their minds and are spending that energy on what truly counts. If this strikes a chord with you, remember this. You aren't weird. You aren't antisocial. You aren't falling behind. Honestly, you've finally started to truly breathe. See, in a reality where people fake their lives for a crowd that's too busy rehearsing their own act, staying real is the gutsiest move you can.